Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make this dress. So first thing, we're going to start with tracing the pattern. So as you can see, I started my pattern at 7 and then I marked where my armhole is supposed to be. So this line is basically your armhole divided by 2, which is here, or you can do your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. that length is somewhere here for me. And then after that I have my shoulder to my nipple line, and then my shoulder to my under bust at 15, my shoulder to my waist at 17.5. So once you marked everything, the next thing you're going to do is to insert your dart. So I'm going to come down here and do my nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus half an inch, 4.5. And then I'm also going to mark it on this line too. And then I'm going to connect the two of them all the way to this nipple line. And then I'm going to mark half an inch on this side, connecting it here. And then also half an inch on this other side, connecting it here. So once this is done, the next thing I'm going to this same I'm going to also put in my nipple to nipple divided by 2, mark it here. But up here I'm going to do, so guys, I'm going to mark 0.75 on this part here and 0.75 on this other part here. If a smaller person, you can go ahead and just do half an inch, and then from there now I'm going to connect from this point here also all the way to this point. Right, like you're going to still connect that straight line in the center, and then you're going to just go ahead and give it a curve from this point here all the way into this line, and then also on this other side too. And then once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and start to insert my measurement. At this upper part here, I'm going to just do, you can do your shoulder measurement divided by 2. That is like, if your shoulder is 16, you can do divided by 2, which is going to be 8. Instead of using 8, you can subtract 2 from it. But what I'm going to do instead of that, I like to do like, let's say 5.5 inches, because the sleeve is going to be elastic, just so it will give me more grip. So I'm going to do like 5.5 at the top part of this here, which will be somewhere here. And then I'm going to put back this measurement from this part here, which is 1.5, insert it back to complete my shoulder. And then after that, I'm going to come down to this chest line here and insert my bust measurement divided by 4, which is 42, mark it here. And then I'm going to connect from this point here to this point here. So just like that, I'm going to give it a curve here, just like this here. And then once that is done, I'm going to also, on this same line, I'm going to insert this measurement from here, whatever that is. So it's like half an inch here. So I'm going to add back half an inch on this point here. So, and then I'm also going to go ahead and add 1 inch of seam allowance. The same thing on my waistline, waist divided by 4, which is going to be about 9. Insert this 1 inch here back. And then I'm going to add back 1 inch of seam allowance, and that's basically it. So from this point now, I'm going to connect it to the bust, just like this, and then this is going to be my side seam allowance. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut from this point all the way out like this, and cut it out. So guys, this is where we are at the moment. So with that pattern paper, I just went ahead and traced out this for the back, right? So I just started with the back because I'm going to be cutting this, so I just needed to trace out the whole piece for the back. And as you can see, I have like half an inch at the bottom here, which is going to be my seam allowance to join it to the bottom part. And then I left 1 inch here because I won't be using lining at the back, because I don't want this cloth to be too thick, because there's already a lot going on, so I don't want it too heavy. So if you want, you can just leave the same half an inch at the top part here and turn it over with lining. But because of I want to fold this upper part just like this, I want to fold it like this. That's why I added 1 inch at the top part here. But this bottom part here, I still need that half an inch, and I'll also be adding it in front because I need half an inch to join this to the skirt part, right? This is the bottom part. So and then I also have 1 inch here for my zipper, because it's going to have a back zipper. So once you do that, you're going to go ahead and remove this here. And then at the bottom part here, I'm going to come up by 1 inch here, and then I'm going to connect it to the end here. This is going to help my girder not to drop, because remember, your back half length is shorter than your front half length. So I'm going to mark 1 inch at the bottom part of this back panel now and connect it all the way here. So guys, you see what I did here? I've gone ahead and marked that 1 inch from this bottom part here and connected it to this here. And then the same dart that I have in front, if I put it back, you see just the same point where this dart is, but except this one in front here goes all the way to my chest line, which is here. So I'm just going to pinch this out like this, and that's it. So this is going to be the back dart here. So let me go ahead and cut off this half and this 1 inch here. Guys, you see, I've gone ahead and cut that out and notched it because I'm going to be darting the 2 sides of my back panel. So there are 2 pieces of it here, 1 on each side for the back. So I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm going to go back to this paper now and draft something out. So you see, this my half an inch on both sides of my dart. I went ahead and marked it straight across, like straight all the way to the top, instead of the way it was initially for our darting. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to also give it a curve from this point to this point. This is going to better like define the curve of my, to go ahead and connect it all the way from this point to this point, and then turn it around again and mark it again from this point here to this end here. You see, so this 1 inch, this half an inch here, I brought it straight across. This half an inch, I brought it straight across, and then curve this out. So now all I have to do is on this my under bust line, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. So I'm going to cut this at this point here. So I'm going to cut it on this straight line here. So guys, now with this upper one, I went ahead and traced a different one from this, and then I'm going to, because this one I'm going to be splitting it, but this one I'm going to use it as my the inner lining. So this one here I'm going to be splitting it. You see this upper part here, all I did is just to trace exactly what I have on this paper, because I'm going to use this for the slash method to get the ruffle thing at the gather thing at the bust. And then this other one here, we are going to just split it open so that we can be able to cut out what will serve as our cup. You see, I've cut it out. This is what it looks like. So this center part here will be cut on a fold, and then this side here will be just 2 pieces of it, and then I'm going to have seam allowances here. So I'm going to cut it. When I cut it out, you guys will see. But in the meantime, we're going to also move over to this second piece, which is the one that we traced out exactly like this other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it. So I'm going to just slash it like 2 inches difference like this. So I'm going to mark another one, and then I'm going to move it again and mark this one, and just like that I'm going to just mark it. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So now I'm going to just split all this like this, and then I'm going to place it on my fabric. So guys, this is what we have here. So I've gone ahead and traced everything out. So you see the one for the piece here, this is on a fold. You see this fabric is folded into 2, and then I made sure to maintain the same end here, because remember when we were tracing this, you see the one we used to trace the pattern, we had that half an inch for seam allowance at the top. So that's why I didn't add any half an inch of seam allowance at the top here. But the bottom part, when we were tracing it, remember this bottom part was split from this band of the waist, right? So that's why I have half an inch here and half an inch here. So when I go to sew it, this half an inch from the waist here is going to join this one here, right? So I initially wanted to use 1 inch of side seam, but I made it 1.5. That's why you're seeing a little bit of fabric by the ends here. And then in between here, I have 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 like that in between. And then I cut everything out, half an inch here. And then this one here, you see, I have seam allowance in between just to join these 2 together. There's no seam allowance at the end here because this is on a fold. So this center part of the lining also is on a fold. So let me show you, it's on a fold. But this one here is split open because I have 2 pieces of it here. So this center part here, I have half an inch to. So now, this bottom part here has half an inch here. So now that is done, the next thing I'm going to do, you see, I also have my back panel. So I've cut out everything for the front panel. So all I have to do is just to remove this here. And then also, guys, you see, for this center part here, so for this band here, you see that I have half an inch here, half an inch here. And then I also folded away I folded away the darts. If you want, you can also go ahead and just cut it open like this, and then fold this dart on the cloth. But I figured I could just fold it like this and then trace it out. So that's why I folded it away and then traced out exactly what I need. Half an inch at the top, half an inch at the bottom here. So this half an inch here is to join this to this. This half an inch here is to join this part here to the skirt. So guys, you see what I did here? I went ahead and joined the 3 pieces of the lining together. This is the inner part of this here, and then this one here is going to be the gather parts. So guys, this is what I'm using here. So this is going to be sewn together with this, but before that, the band on the waist here, I'm going to first join it. So this is the band that is going to the waist here. So the lower part of this here, I'm going to take this band the way it is now and notch it so that I'll know the center, which is here, this upper part here. So I'm going to take it like this, the way it is now, and then I'm going to join it. So I'm going to open it up this way, and then I'm going to spread out this gather at this bottom part, and once it's done, I'm going to flip this band towards this direction, and then I'm going to take this here. If you want, you can also cut the same band on how you have this band, cut it in form of a lining, and then join it to the bottom part of this part here, so that once you're done, you join everything together. You understand? So let's say I've already made the lining part of this here. Like I have this lining like this, I have this in form of a lining, the band in form of a lining. I'll just go ahead and join it at this bottom part here, sew it together, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over, wrong side facing each other, and sew it all over like this. You understand? So you're going to, this is the right side of the top part of this top. Now all you have to do is take it like this. So all I have to do is just to go ahead and join the upper part of this here. This part here with the armhole, I'm just going to leave it the way it is, but I'm going to stitch it down this here. But this upper part here, I'm going to hold it together, because remember this armhole part here is still going into our sleeve, right? So I'm just going to leave it the way it is, but I'm going to stitch it to the lining. So let me go ahead and join everything and bring it back. So guys, this is what I have right now. You see, I just only sewed this part of it, turned it over, and then held it together with a stitch down here with the lining. So you see, this upper part is the only part I sewed. This armhole part is still open. I just pinned it down. You can see my pin holding it together, because I'm still going to be sewing my sleeve at that point. So this is where I stopped, just this upper part here. You see, my hand can even fit in just this upper part here, and then the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this part here and join it to the waist like this. So I'm going to take it, sew it straight down, and then flip it back down like this, so that I can be able to join the back panel and then the skirt part here. So guys, the next thing I have to do, you see what I have right now. Immediately I added this band here, I folded it back this way, and then I added the back panel. So for the back panel, I used that 1 inch I left at the top to fold it down, fold this side down, and then added my darts here. You see my dart goes up to the armhole part here. So this is the inside of this. Like I said, I just want the lining here, but you can use lining all over for yours. I closed up my side seam. So now the next thing I have to do is just to go ahead and cut the skirt part. This is what I'm going to use here. So you see my fabric, it's folded into two. This is a whole Akara fabric folded into two here. This is one end here. The fabric is folded into two, and the length of the fold I have here, the length of this fold, you see the end of the fold here, and then this is the other part of the fold down here, you see. So how I was able to calculate this length, because this is like using Akara fabric to cut a circle skirt. So I already have several tutorials on how to do that, but basically all I did is to measure from my shoulder to my to the floor. So that would be 59 inches for me. The dress length would be 59. So from this 59 now, I went ahead to subtract my shoulder to waist from it, which is going to be 17.5, right? This is my half length, subtract it from the full length. So that is 59 minus 17.5. So what I have left is going to be 41.5. So the length of my skirt is going to be 41.5. So what I'm going to do is this 41.5 now, I'm just going to leave it and then calculate my waist. So let's say the waist I'm working with is 35, right? The waist I'm working with is 35. From this 35, I'm going to add 2 inches of zipper allowance, 1 inch for this side, 1 inch for the other side. So plus 2, that is going to be 37. So from this 37 now, I'm going to do 37 divided by 3.14, which is a constant to cut half a circle. So it doesn't matter who you're cutting it for, just use this 3.14 to divide whatever you got, like the person's waist plus 2 inches of zipper. If you're going to be using pocket, then you're going to need extra 6 inches, because 2 inches at the back, 2 inches on this side, 2 inches on this other side. So that is going to be extra 6 inches, right, added to the person's waist before you divide it by 3.14. So if I do that, what I have left is 11 11.7. So this 11.7 now, I'm going to add it to this 41.5. So plus 41.5 is 53. And then I have to also add in my 1 inch of folding the edge of the circle and 1/2 inch of joining the waist part. So that will be plus 1.5. So what I have in total is 54.7. So I need to make sure that the fold of this fabric here into 2 is going to contain the 54.7, and I've already done that. So that is all I need. And then now I'm going to go ahead to cut the skirt. So to cut the skirt now, I'm going to just turn it to one side, this angle here, the part with the fold, right? Just one corner of the fold. This is the end of the folded part here, like I've shown you before. I'm just going to move it aside, go to one end of that fold, and then I'm going to just add in that that first measurement of 11.7 that I got. So I'm just going to place my tape at this point here, just like this, and then I'm going to mark 11.7, mark it, move it again, mark 11.7, just like that, all the way round this point here. So with this now, I've gotten the waist of my skirt. Now the next measurement I'm going to insert is this, my 54.7. So I'm going to take this now, place my tape here and try to insert 54.7, which, as you can see, it's not going to fit in here because Akara fabric ends at 45. But no problem, I'm just going to cut wherever it fits in, and then I'm going to add my fabric back. So to do that, I'm going to just fold this into 2 like this. You see, I'm just going to turn it and fold it this way, just so that the fabric can contain on one table, just like this. So I'm just going to move it again. So guys, now I'm going to go ahead. You see that my 11 is still here, 11.7. I'm going to place my tape back again now and mark that 54.7. So I'm just going to place my tape there and just mark 54.7 everywhere that it fits in down here. So guys, I'm going to go ahead, cut this part out, and then also come to this bottom part and cut it out. You see my line, I've made the line. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So guys, this is what it looks like right now. You see, I cut out the bottom, cut out the top, and then I folded my fabric again and then placed it on this here like this. You see, this is the end of a different fabric here, just the fabric folded into 2 like this. And then this is the end of this one, because you know Akara fabric, the length, like I was saying, is not up to what I need. So that's why I added this piece here. So all I have to do is just to go to the sewing machine, and then I'm going to take this one on top now, join it to this piece at the bottom part here, and then it's going to complete the length of my skirt. So you see, I've also traced it to be exactly what I need. And you see this side here has just the same curve as this upper part here, you see. So this is going to be the center front of the skirt. So let me go ahead now and join it. So I'm going to join the 2 sides of this to the 2 sides of this one here, just like this, one on this side, one on this other side, and then it's going to complete the opening of the skirt. So join this here to the bottom part of my flap. So I'm just going to go ahead and join it, but before you do that, try to measure the waist and make sure that it's exactly what you need. So I'm going to take this skirt part here now and join it to the bottom part of this here, right? So once that is done, you can also go ahead at the same time and add your zipper. So this open part here, so the center part here is going to go to the center front here, but these 2 parts here with the opening here will be for the zipper part. So I'm going to go ahead and insert it and then add a zip at the center back, and then we'll come back and finish up with the sleeve for last. So guys, you see I've joined this here, and then I've also gone ahead and added the zipper to the back. So now the next thing I have to do is to put in the sleeve. So guys, to add the sleeve, all you have to do is, the width is going to be your armhole divided by 2 plus like extra 5 inches or so. So that's what I'm using here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this armhole part here, just get one side of the armhole of my clothes, turn it over this way. So you know the curve of your armhole, you're going to take it like this, and then go to the end of your clothes this way. Go to the end of your cloth this way, and then you're going to trace it out. But before you trace it out, you're going to make a fold here for the casing of your elastic. So you see, you have to fold at least 1.5 at the top part here, and then go ahead and put in your armhole like this. and then draw out what you have here. So for me, it's going to look something like this. I'm cutting for both the sleeves at the same time, so it's going to look something like this all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this part out, and then I'm also going to fold this bottom part with 1.5 here. This is going to be elastic at the bottom, elastic at the top, and then the length I have here in total is about, it depends on you the length you want, but what I'm working with is 17 at the moment. But remember, I'm going to be folding this part out to cut it off, and then I'm also going to be folding this part out for my elastic. So let me go ahead and cut it off. So guys, this is what I have here. You see, I've put everything together. This here, I used about 8 inches elastic for the upper part here. So I passed the elastic through one side and it came out the other side. I sewed it down on this here, and then I joined it to this here, closed up the armhole, and then made one straight stitch from the sleeve into the side of the clothes, just like that. And then I also added elastic at the end here. So that's basically what my dress looks like. If I pull it down, you can see the full body of the dress. I just have to go ahead and iron it a little, and then the back has the zipper, and that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share and subscribe. Bye.